Good morning, it's Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Monday the 10th of August. Jumping straight in with Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlesticks, it's a bullish start to the morning. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a pullback through the pivot at 11,664 to support a run at this first major resistance level sitting at 11,799. Barring an extended crypto rally on the day, yesterday's high that was at 11,788 and that first major resistance level should cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, second major resistance level at 11,922 and resistance at 12,000 would likely be tested. Fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 11,541 into play. Barring an extended sell-off, should see Bitcoin avoid the second major support level at 11,406. Looking at the MACDs, saw a bullish crossover late yesterday and a widening of the histogram, supportive of this early morning breakout. We're also seeing a widening of the 50 EMA against the 100 and 200. That's supportive of a run back through that first major resistance level to 11,900 levels. Moving across to EOS against the US dollar, also a relatively bullish start to the morning. Going to need to see EOS avoid a fall through the pivot at 3.0139 to support a run at this first major resistance level sitting at 3.0959. Support from the broader market going to be needed for EOS to break out from yesterday's high. It was at 3.0821. So barring an extended rally on the day, the first major resistance level and resistance at 3.1 should cap any upside. Second major resistance level sits at 3.1642 in the event of a breakout. Fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 2.9456 into play. Barring an extended sell-off, EOS should avoid the second major support level sitting at 2.8636. Looking at the MACDs, also a bullish crossover and a widening of the bullish histogram supportive of the early morning breakout. Looking at the moving averages, we're seeing the 50 pinch against the 200. So key through the morning would be avoiding that pivot level and a move back through to 3.1s to support this upward momentum that we've seen of late. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, mixed start to the morning. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid a pullback through the pivot at 391.81. Support around this first major resistance level sitting at 399.6. Barring an extended rally on the day, that first major resistance level and resistance at 400 should cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see the second major resistance level at 408.79 come into play. Pull back through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 382.62 into play. Should see Ethereum avoid the second major support level sitting at 374.83 however. Looking at the MACDs, suggestive of a bullish day ahead, nothing convincing however. The EMA however is suggesting a bullish start to the morning and a possible run through to 400s, seeing a marginal widening of the 50 against the 100 and the 200. So avoiding that pivot level and the early morning low 390.41 will be key through the day. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, bullish start to the morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fall through the pivot at 28.95 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 29.69. Barring an extended rally on the day, that first major resistance level and Saturday's high 29.852 should cap any upside. Fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 28.04 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid second major support level sitting at 27th. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a widening of the bullish histogram after yesterday's bullish crossover, supportive of the early moves this morning. We are seeing a narrowing of the 50 against the 200 on the EMA, however, So avoiding a pullback through that pivot level and sub 28 will be key to support the upward momentum seen through the recent weeks.